it's Cami Kidder with Throw Like a Girl TV, the gender equality channel here on YouTube. Today is actually day 3 of the World Cup. My day 2 video has been delayed because it was kind of depressing because the whole thing was about how the weather was affecting all the games and there really wasn't much to report other than everything was soggy and delayed. But what did happen yesterday that was super exciting is Nyla Ramirez, who is somebody I have known and been following with this documentary since she was 11 or 12 years old, and she played for the Dream Team. She had her World Cup debut playing for Team Puerto Rico, and she crushed it. So Nyla Ramirez was the big story of the day for me, and she used to be on the Dream Team with a lot of other super talented gals, including Kelsey Whitmore and Jade Gutierrez, who are on Team USA. So really great showing here for Dream Team, and they were all Baseball for All players as well.
For Chinese Taipei, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on.
So Nyla came on in the 5th inning with 1 out and a couple men on base, and 1 runner scored, but she struck out 5, including the 3 in the bottom of the 7th, which gave Puerto Rico the victory. So I couldn't be more excited. Puerto Rico was thrilled, her family was thrilled. It was truly one of those moments that you only get really at a tournament like this, because I'm kind of a mush, right? I want everyone to do well. You know, I don't know anybody on the Chinese Taipei team, but I imagine I know who they are. You know, they're girls that have this dream, and they want to have a great showing, and they want to win the game. They want to contribute to their team, just like everybody on Team Puerto Rico, and just like everybody on Team Netherlands, and just like everybody on Team USA. But everybody can't win because it's a baseball game. But you can do your personal best, or your vindication, or your victory, whatever that is. And I think for Nyla, this was a pretty significant night. I know it was for her mom and her grandparents who were here and I was hanging out with, because they are really awesome folks. They drove all the way from New York just to be here in Florida to watch their daughter pitch. And she doesn't even pitch so much anymore. She's a batting coach. She was really an amazing hitter. She crushed that ball and catch, but she also pitched, and they needed her, and she came through, and it was beautiful. So in other action, there were other games yesterday other than this one. Venezuela had a great game against Korea. That game ended up 10-4. Pretty competitive game, back and forth, lots of action, which is what we like to see here. And then the 2 o'clock games came, which also brought the thunderstorms, which seems to be a daily thing here. I guess it's kind of a pattern, which is a bummer, but we are in Florida in August, so I guess it's part of the deal. So the 2 o'clock games were Australia and Dominican Republic, also a very competitive game. Quite an upset. Dominican Republic actually beat Australia, which is 4th in the world, and as you know, the Dominican came into this tournament unranked. So they've really been quite a surprise for most people. For me, for Australia for sure, but you know, hopefully they're playing their games the way they want to play their games, and I think Australia, though, might have been affected by the rain the day before, because they had to get up extra early to finish their game from day 1 at 9 a.m. on day 2, and then play their game at 2 o'clock. So it's kind of crummy. Same thing happened to Cuba. And Cuba did not fare well. Canada beat Cuba 7-10 in another 2 o'clock game, which was also rain shortened. So both of those games went final, even though they were not complete games, because again, weather. So then, I'm just actually looking at the score right now. I thought it was 11-0 U.S. Netherlands. It was actually 18-0. So something happened in the late innings of that game. That was kind of a mercy rule situation. I had occasion to speak with Yvette Van Putten, who's the, I don't think she's technically the manager of the team anymore, but she's like the head of that team. She's the heart and soul and blood and sweat, and she's the reason why there is that team. And she said, because I don't know what happens to my team. We're doing really well, and then we play the USA and we forget everything we know. So I think everyone has a nemesis here. I know that Cuba and the Netherlands have a national rivalry, which is kind of surprising to me. But then again, we're in the U.S., so we're kind of dumbed down about international politics. We don't really know what else is happening outside in the world, which, you know, that's another video, I'm sure. And then the other game last night was the one that Nyla pitched in, which was Puerto Rico versus Chinese Taipei, where they ended up winning 9-6. Which was it was a full game, and they went all the way through 7, which was exciting and tense. And Taipei had scored early, and they were up 4-0, and then Puerto Rico just battled back and battled back and battled back, and that's what you got to do if you want to win a baseball game.
Go,